Oh, we're back on? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I figure if she's on, let's get the most amount of people
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
to
fine.
see her.
Shout it from the rooftop. Put it on Facebook Live. I don't care.
Vorpal says, are the skeletons
Nobody's
real?
on Facebook.
The skeletons they are not real skeletons. They are puppets. It's very Evil Dead. The way that we operated.
Yeah, it's a little hard to get real skeletons these
You're not
days.
allowed to actually have cadavers. It is illegal to grave rob. So sorry.
Yeah,
but
because you're not allowed to, like back in the day, you used to be able to buy those medical grade skeletons, which are actual human skeletons that people would use for whatever, but you can't shoot those anymore.
Right. Jack says
like that's what the case was with Poltergeist, is those were medical grade skeletons, and it's cheaper to buy those. They're actual real human skeletons. It's cheaper than getting really well made anatomical ones, and so that's what they bought those. But nowadays it's illegal to shoot with those.
Yeah. So are you retiring, DJ?
Yeah. So Jack says, "Yo, DJ, are you retiring after this?" Hell no.
It's like a mic drop. My first movie and my last.
Yeah, no. I'm. This is my career for the rest of my life.
All right, there we go.
You know what? Limit it to like DJ Remark only makes 13 films in his career.
So everybody joining the Ghost Pirate side right now. Hello. We are talking to one of the stars of the upcoming HELLGATE movie that, if you're not aware, DJ has made, and this is Summer, who started. What was the name of your character?
It's below my name, but it's Sacey. So
I can't fucking see.
It's okay.
That's why I didn't say your last name either, because I'm like,
you have the most valid excuse, literally.
Yeah, DJ knows. That's why DJ is always the one reading all the comments, because I can't see without my glasses.
Oh, the link that I'm in right now, this is like miles away. Like I have no idea what these people are saying.
Look how funny I look with my readers on. Like,
oh, okay.
You need a monocle.
Yeah,
you need a monocle and a top hat.
At my old job, I used to. Yeah. At my old job, I used to wear my glasses when I would be doing, because I was a manager, when I was doing paperwork and stuff. And all the younger people would come in and they were always making fun of me because they're like, it looks so weird. Like, what's the point of glasses when you can't even, it's one of my pairs of glasses, there isn't even a lens in this side. Like, it literally popped out the lens.
You should have reported it.
Well, I was the manager.
Those Gen Zs to HR jail, because that is not any of their business.
Yeah.
Shit, those little motherfuckers got me fired.
Oh God.
Yeah. Remember I told you about that.
You're here with us now. This job is
I was planning. DJ knows I was planning on quitting anyway. Like I was on the verge of going full time on YouTube anyway, but like I was trying to be a good employee because I was the manager and like not leave them high and dry. So I was, hoping in the next month or so to get them to a position where I could quit and it wasn't going to hurt them. And then the little shit kids got me fired because we were talking about documentaries one day, and they brought it up. We're talking about documentaries. So I was talking to them about like one of the ones I was watching on Netflix, and it was something about a shooter. I don't even remember now because this is a couple years ago, but it was like some mass shooting or something like that. Anyway, they took and literally twisted the words I said to the effect of that I was going to shoot and kill them and myself or something. I don't even know.
What the fuck?
Yeah. But the company we worked for is like a big company, so they didn't even give a shit about, because they didn't think I was going to get fired. Like, I don't think.
This is an interesting segue now.
Yeah. Let's get back to the comments. Gaston says, DJ, any chance the movie will be available outside the U.S.? I'm from Argentina. I can't wait to watch it. Yes, it will be available outside the U.S.
It'll be available streaming eventually as well. So
right, yeah, but so we are trying to get both North American, domestic and international distribution. So whoever we land for international will be able to get it on platforms in your country. So don't
That's
worry.
why
You'll be able to see it.
If you guys remember a few weeks ago, he was at Cannes, and that was the reason he went over there, was
Yes. Thank you,
to have
Jack.
meetings for distribution.
Prop Dude
out
says
of the
different look
country.
on film is crazy. Like Vader's helmet has all these alternating gray and black parts, and people think it's all black at first.
Yep.
Yeah. Once you see it up close.
Well, because it's not just, there's a lot of things where it reads different on camera, and especially depending on the lens you're using. Sometimes it's like a lot of that'll be by design. It's like if it was just black, it would literally not have any dimension. So you'll have to have, you know, certain things where there's different colored panels to get a certain effect. So that you, like, even with my set, there's certain things where if I put certain colored items, they just like disappear, you know?
Yeah.
Or like when I do my videos, I put in like this black kind of stuff or dark brown stuff in my beard, because you can even see right now, like the light, if I have it all the way up, like I do when I shoot videos, it's like I have no beard. You can see like all the way through into my skin and stuff, because there's just certain things, you know, that's why a lot of people wear like foundation, men, you know, like on camera and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really have to for my lighting, but like if you're on a big, like actual real set, you have
Everybody's
to put
got makeup on.
Yeah. And it's not because you're trying to always just get rid of blemishes. Like that is part of it, but a lot of it is there's certain things that happen when those lights are going and the cameras are going and things are shiny.
It's hot.
Yeah. Yep.
Jack says, did they do any music for the film? Yes, MRSA has a song in the film. The song that they are playing in their scene is a MRSA song. They just they're going by the band name Wormgut in the actual film. B Movie Theater says, yeah, it reminds me of a bar I used to go to. Sam says, I think it looks like two different places. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam.
Al says, I want to watch this tonight. Sorry, buddy, you can't watch it tonight. You gotta wait. It's not out yet.
Yeah, probably your guys are probably looking at like next year. You know,
later this
more
year,
than likely.
We're going for later this year.
If you're thinking next year, then you won't be unhappy if it's sooner.
Right.
No, as soon as we
but stuff like this takes time. Just distribution takes time. It's like, you know, it's why so many of these movies, people are always like, why did you say so-and-so movie was a 2024 movie when it, you know, it actually released in 2023 or whatever. And it's like, because most of these movies,
right,
like even Chris Stuckman's movie, they wrapped shooting that movie over a year ago.
Right.
Or they finished. They had locked picture over a year ago, and it just now finally it got picked up like earlier this year, and now it's finally getting released in October of this year. So like it'll be a full 2 years. 2 years after they were done editing it, that it finally is released.
It is a long process.
Yeah, it just takes time.
B Movie says, is there a poster we can see? No, unfortunately.
Yeah, you are working on. I saw a post about that.
I'm working on it. What happened?
What did Jay say? He said for $50, I'll send anyone the screener. I got $50 right now, Jay. You better send that shit over.
Jay does not have. He cannot do that.
Oh, thank you, Katie.
Look, for $50, I'll send you the screener.
Like, Jay is just gonna fucking take and pocket your $50, guys.
I'll give him $50. Shit, I want to see it.
No, you would rather see it when you get to see it at the premiere. It's so much more special if you wait and see it with everybody, cast and crew.
I know you're right. I know you are.
Promise you, it's a lot cooler.
Casey says, I wanted to do set design so badly. This is rad. Talking about the cave stuff that we were showing off.
Because like I have a couple friends who have, you know, movies along the lines of what you guys are doing here, and like just people crying after seeing themselves on, you know, in theaters, and like all their friends and family are there, and it's like such a cool experience. So trust me, you want to wait for that moment. I'm super special.
I'm very, very excited.
Clever Cleaver says, now DJ can officially call himself a horror movie director. Wearing that shirt out at a bar Looks good
Well-
as a first throw in the genre, heightened with Summer's acting and a bloody gothic good time.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I'll show off what the actual shirt looks like here in a second because you can't really see it, but it is very very interesting. Let me see here. Jack, I already answered that question. Nick says, "Pretty girl on Ghost Pirate. A frozen over hell exists."
my fans are not used to real life girls. They're like,
we are a bunch of we are a bunch of basement dwellers.
Frozen. I don't know what to say.
Women don't exist to us.
Hey, 25% of my audience are female. Okay,
There you go. And here's one of them. What's up, Stephanie? Good to see you. You're late.
Yeah.
Purple VR says it's not on YouTube. No, it's not going to be out on YouTube. You're not going to be able to see this. We spent too much money on this movie to put it on fucking.
We're trying
YouTube.
to make something, guys.
Yeah, we're trying to get. I want to make $1 on this movie. If I can make $1 on this movie, I will be so happy.
I'm sure you'll be able to rent it on YouTube at some point.
Maybe, yeah, but it's not just it's not just going to drop on YouTube. And
VOD at some point.
If you guys didn't see the trailer premiere, if you're on Ghost Pirate right now, you didn't see the trailer premiere on the Death Rattle side, the premiere will go live after this stream on Bloodscribe Creations channel. So the trailer will be live after this stream. So just FYI. Casey says it looks fun as hell. What are you saying?
Jay, he said it's gonna bypass YouTube and go straight to public access.
That doesn't even exist anymore, Jay. Is there even? I don't even know if there is a public access anymore.
They're gonna put us.
Jay is auctioning off
don't
my
lie.
movie. He's auctioning off my movie in the friggin' chat. Get out of here.
No, like seriously, there isn't such a thing as public access anymore, right? I mean, that is YouTube.
Jay, come on, stop trying to give our film away yet.
Somebody says good morning from Japan. Good morning.
Whoa, who's in Japan?
Konnichiwa. That's the only Japanese.
I
don't know. I can't read it.
Japan.
I don't know. I can't read it.
Oh, right there.
It's Japanese characters. I can't read it. I'm sorry. But hello.
It's commented before. Hello.
Benji says good morning from India. Good morning. Good morning, guys.
Top of the morning.
Jay says I can't wait to buy an international version. I just want to see Dave the bar on
speaking Japanese.
I just want to see Dave the bartender speaking Japanese. Jay, the director of photography, is also the character Dave in this movie. There, plenty of people wore plenty hats in this movie. Heather says, "Who did the sound? It's really good." A guy named Matt Vigo. He's a sound guy. He's really awesome.
He's the best. We love you, Vigo.
Gaston says, "Sending my best wishes to DJ Summer and the whole cast and crew for the movie." Thank you, Gaston. Yeah, we can't wait to release this. This is
$1 today. You got it, or a hamburger tomorrow.
Yeah, auctioning off a link to the film. So yeah. Jay says,
"No, that's like the wimpy line, where I'll the wimpy line where I'll take a hamburger today and pay you tomorrow or whatever, or pay you on Wednesday."
Whose mic is that?
Are you making a weird sound?
I think it's Summer. I had to mute Summer. Summer, is your volume?
Yeah, sums up with your mic.
I'm just using my phone.
Oh, your reception.
Yeah, sorry. We're just getting some nasty feedback. Sorry, lady.
Hold on. It's because I was dying.
Oh.
Yeah, because now you're good.
So, all right. I mean, we got through a lot. What do you guys want to talk about? I can wax poetic about the movie this entire time.
Prop dude,
here's something. Prop dude says, "Question: how many times you watched the movie at this point?" I have watched this movie probably close to 50 times.
I know I've watched it 3 times, like it's in entirety. But
I've seen it 0 times.
Like with stuff like this, a lot of times you scrub through it because, like, I don't even know how many times I scrubbed through different sections.
That's
like,
not fair.
even notes and stuff. You don't want to see it the way that we saw it. This is not, because then you don't see the magic of it. Like, you'll get to see it when it's done. Like, DJ will forever see it in little sections. You know what I mean? And be like, that one little spot.
The
right
last
there,
thing,
and that thing there.
The last thing you want to do no offense, Summer, is show an actor a working cut of a film.
Yep.
Because a lot of times you're watching takes that are probably not the best take, but you're like trying to see something
They're
else.
just placeholders.
And so if you're watching this and you see yourself maybe flubbing a line, or, you know, it's not a good angle or something like that, it can really get in your head. I'm not saying you're that kind of actor, but it's happened before. And that's why I don't send cuts out to most actors, is because it's like, look, this is a rough, okay? We're trying to figure stuff out. But you're going to thank me when you see it for not sending you all of the versions that I've had to watch, that Kanan's had to watch. It is
the thing is you'll see flaws even when they're gone.
Yeah.
There's this weird thing that happens when you edit stuff. It's almost like ghost of flaws. You know, you get too close to the sun, you get sunspots. And
no, I mean,
you know,
the
it's
little
a
bit
tough
that
thing.
I have watched back, I definitely was like panic mode, and like you said, like that's the thing about being an actor versus a model or what have you, is like you have to be okay with like not always being in your best angle, because at the end of the day, you're playing a human, you're playing a real life character, and that's not always perfect. So yeah, I definitely trust the process, and it's kind of scary to me that I'm going to sit in a room full of strangers potentially, and it will all be our first time seeing it. I might shit or throw up, but you know, it's going to be great, and I'll definitely have a beer then probably too. So.
Oh yeah, no, you definitely want to have a couple beers.
Yeah,
yeah,
it'll be worth it. It's a fun movie. I think it's scary. I think it's fun, and you and Madison and everybody just do a great job.
There's a little playful kind of like vibe about the whole thing. Like it's very much like punk rock metal meets horror. Yeah.
A little camp. Something for everybody. Yeah. Vorpal says, tell the truth. Was Summer a total diva? I will tell the truth. No.
Was there anybody that was a little bit, who would have been, if you had to pick one person that was the most diva?
Me.
Who would it have been? You?
He ain't lying.
No, he was. I saw him. But he was is like, you guys were all super stressed too.
My cast was awesome. I know everybody says that and it's like whatever, but like I seriously, there were no divas. Everybody took their lumps. Everybody took their hits and just did it and did their job and did it well.
I also think that there is.
If Jay is
I think
still
there's
in
a
here,
lot
he'll
less.
He'll remember
but I also,
the shirt scene. Sorry to interrupt. The shirt, when Madison has a shirt that says like "fuck you," and he couldn't get a good shot of it with her opening the door. DJ goes, "The shirt is the whole shot. The shirt that makes it funny." He's screaming.
I'm sorry. It just seemed like all we have to do is just show the shirt and then tilt up to her face. And for whatever reason, we couldn't get it. And I didn't understand why. And so because I didn't understand, it was starting to freak me out, because I'm just like, you just center tilt. That's the shot. And so like, but yes, I'm probably the most diva on the set, and I'm sorry. Jay says,
the directors are usually like, that's what I was going to say. I think there is a bit of I just don't know how true it actually is that a lot of actors and stuff are divas on set, because I think a lot of actors and stars or whatever are divas, just like rock stars, right? Mm-hmm. But there's a time and a place where they are those things.
Yeah.
Like you don't see that a lot. Like when you're actually shooting a movie, most of the actors and stuff are not being divas because they're playing this role. They're doing their job. Where you see them being a diva is when they're in their trailer or when they're talking to this or that other people or whatever. You know what I mean?
Jay says, Jay's calling me out. He's saying DJ faked a toe injury so he could sit in a chair 60 yards away from the camera crew. That is not true. I did not fake it.
Why would you even fake something like that? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he's still
It's
nursing a
embarrassing
toe
enough.
now.
I'm still nursing. Yeah, right. I just got
He's
over
always
another
got some
injury.
toe thing.
No, I'll admit the only time that I was a diva on set, because I actually put up with a lot of shit. Like, when you watch the movie, you'll see the things that happened to me, and it was not just, the 30-second clip or whatever we give in the movie. It's hours and hours and hours of being really uncomfortable to get that perfect shot, and people don't understand how uncomfortable it can be. But my contacts had to be replaced because they kept falling out of my eyes, and I kept having to wash them and put them back in because I only had one set. And they got so uncomfortable. I was like, I literally think I'm dying. Like, and we had to order another pair. And shout out to Alana. Alana stood up to the man. Ain't that right, DJ?
Yes, she did. Alana was the real boss.
Alana had my back. Yeah.
Yeah, she was great. Everybody. I mean, my whole crew. I honestly, I am humbled by the talent and by the crew that I had on this stupid little movie. Like I couldn't have asked for better. I can't wait to have everybody back. Hopefully, if they want to work with me, I can't wait to have everybody back for the next one.
Yeah, me, Madison, Braden, and what's so funny is the first audition process I went through, it was literally me, Madison, and Braden sitting in a room, and we were the last ones you were kind of going through and toying with. But you still hadn't even considered the thought of me being Sacey at that point. It wasn't until 2-3 months later that we all talked about it, and it was like, it just was so easy for us to get along,
Yeah, it was great. And the timing was perfect. And like, I wouldn't have asked for any other way. So I'm happy that I had to suffer through the rounds of casting that I did, because it was worth it. Like, it really was. Jay says, Summer, how dare you stick up for DJ? Summer, you lucked out not playing Lillian. The swamp scene is all I'm going to say. Yeah, that was rough. That scene was rough. But worth it because it looks awesome. Like, that's I don't know.
Jay, I haven't always stuck up for DJ. I've definitely told him he's an asshole before.
I tell him
everybody
every
gets
week.
a turn. Everybody gets a turn.
I tell him every single week.
Only when it's true.
Well, that's why I tell him every week, because every week he's got an opinion about some movie that's
that was me
up.
in the comments. I was like, one thing about DJ, he's probably got an opinion, and it's probably going to be negative, but he's going to have an oral argument ready to go. He's gonna have the receipts.
Exactly. Thank you. I always bring receipts. Always.
Don't talk about the crow around DJ.
Which one? You don't like the original, The Crow?
I love the original.
No, the original is
the new
excellent.
one.
Yeah,
that's like
trash.
DJ's 13th reason.
Yeah, we agreed on that one. That was a movie that we both were just lighting up.
Oh, it's and
man, I forgot about that movie. That was like
yeah.
a year ago, and I holy God, I hated that movie.
I love that actor. I love him in The Amazing Nosferatu. I thought Nosferatu was sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was my movie of the year. I had it as my number one.
I was really dropped in. I'm also like a huge fan of Lily Rose Depp. And every time somebody says we sort of even kind of look alike, I'm like, God blessed you. I love you forever. But no, yeah. The new Crow is an insult. I think the original Crow is the absolute shit. That was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid, was the original Crow. So I don't think less of DJ for like hating the new one, because I get it. It's just so funny how there's just certain things I can bring up to DJ or Mark, and I just know it's gonna get to him, and I can't like resist it.
It's just such a waste. Like, that movie had
just
so much potential. It was like such a huge waste. Well, no, it's not even that. I mean, I was fine. I think you were too, right? Didn't you, DJ? Weren't you fine with them doing a remake? I feel like we both were. Like,
I didn't want them to do a remake.
I didn't.
No, me either. But I'm fine with them doing one. But if you're gonna bring nothing new to the table, and like, then you're gonna
right.
It was just a mess. It was just a straight up mess.
I know that swamp scene was horrible.
Gaston says, question, Kanan, if you were making a list, which movies would you pair DJ's movie with? I'll let you think about it. I'm going to read a couple more comments. Vorpal says, Summer's a hottie. How did a schmuck like you get her to do your movie? Money. Right? Yeah.
The chat always talks so much shit to teach.
You're not wrong.
I always feel bad. Like people are always talking shit.
John says,
I
love
don't
your
know.
ponytail, Summer.
Thank
Because there's
you.
like a Lovecraftian, like there's kind of a Lovecraftian feel to your movie, and there's not enough Lovecraftian movies. You know, I honestly, there's one that comes to mind. I'm trying to remember the name of. I think it's called Older Gods, and it feels along the lines of yours because it like even budgetary wise, it's not as fun. But it has like a kind of similar ideas and tones and stuff.
No, I dressed up so professional for my job when I found out I was gonna get to be a part of this. I was like, I can be myself, and then I was kind of like, I'm gonna give my little Sacey, because I dressed like definitely this way the whole time we made the movie to kind of like feel like I was in character. So I was pumped. So thank you. Ponytails came out. Promise
Well,
I'm
here's
almost 30.
we've got a similar question then for you, Summer. Clever Cleaver asks, what did Summer do in preparation to act in the mind of Sacey? How would you
I was curious about this too.
How would you compare your own personality to the characters, and what did you mold mentally to fit the role?
I feel like you're pretty different. Like I'm getting like you're actually quite a bit different in person than you are in the movie.
I had a lot of conversations with DJ about who he wanted Stacey Lennox to be, because it was pretty clear exactly the way that Lillian's character would be, but there was a lot of opportunity for me to do Stacey a few different ways, like extra introvert, this or that. And I had several conversations with him about it. And in the end, I think my process was, number one, spending a lot of time with Madison. Madison and I spent a lot of time not getting paid to spend time together. Wow. And preparing for this movie. So we went back and forth and did lines and did different methods of the way our dynamic would be with one another. And in the end, I think that Stacey Lennox is actually a little bit of a portion of who I actually am. And I think I just kind of removed because I'm actually in real life like pretty confident and pretty I don't know, okay with being like, I don't know, proud of myself. But I think Stacey is kind of the type that maybe is typically friends with a lot of boys or more tomboy, and just randomly this crazy like fun cool girl thought she was cool one day and we hit it off, and I'm just kind of her sidekick. And what's funny is that like in real life, a lot of my friends kind of are the center of attention, and I have no problem hyping them up and putting them on a pedestal. And that's kind of what Stacey is she's like, Stacey's got all of these personality traits that Lillian isn't able to have. At the end of the day, she's the one who takes care of business, gets the bills paid, and has a lot of Lillian's character is being so overt and kind of cover who she actually is, because she doesn't have the confidence to be who she actually is. So it's constantly putting on a front is Lillian. But Stacey, when behind closed doors, she's the one who's actually willing to, sorry, my cats are like going zoomy. Stacey's the one who's actually willing to like put in the hard work and, keep up with their YouTube channel, keep up with their bills, make sure shit happens. And I guess I kind of curated in a way the way I wanted her to have these reminiscent micro expressions, not always be the one to be, center of attention screaming in the room. But if you watch her, she's like very overly aware, but not always expressive. And that's the way I wanted her to be,
Yeah,
So.
I think it comes off really cool because it, like the two characters feel like two halves to a whole.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like one is a little more, gets to be the more butterfly or whatever, and your character is more of the grounded one that it's like keeps her down and exactly keeps her attached to the project or to the ideas or whatever.
Yeah, like
But
keeps everything like realistic because I feel like, oh wow, yeah. So funny enough, after my audition for Sacey, I knew a little bit what the character would look like, but I've been blonde 90% of my adult life, and DJ goes, "You okay with dyeing your hair black?" And I
I
like
was actually going to ask
shit
you that.
myself. Yeah, I like literally shit myself because if you know, as someone who's into hair, if you dye your hair dark, it's pretty much, and I'm still recovering
Yeah, it's hard to get it to come
now,
back out
over
without
a year
killing it.
later. It's pretty much irrecoverable, but yeah, it's one of my proudest characters so far, and I love me some Stacey Lennox. I think like that's literally like a little portion of me that like I don't know, is middle school me or something. I think that's what I
Yeah.
kind of reached into. Like, I have the friend who's popular, cool, and I'm a little more shy. And the people who get to me, like Chuck or even Madison, that bring me out of my shell, it's very few and far between. But otherwise, Stacey pretty much keeps to herself and is, I don't know, a little more introverted. But yeah, dyeing my
But
hair
there's
super dark.
there's
Wow.
scenes too where it's cool because you could feel that she's more than just a sidekick as well. You know what I mean? Like the scenes at the music store and stuff where you get a more of an idea of who she is, and she isn't just simply the sidekick, you know.
No, I'm so glad we got to talk about this. I wish we talked about it an hour ago, but I didn't want to be a brat.
No,
But-
talk about your character. That's fine.
but yeah, the music store is some really really intimate scenes, and I was going through a lot in my personal life at the time, but I did everything I could to be as present and as possible in those scenes, and create Chuck and Stacy's chemistry as authentically as I could, and then also show, yeah, like that, a lot of the scenes that Lillian's in, she's the center of attention, but like everything that Lillian is able to achieve is because of the realistic like milestones that Stacey makes for the two of us. And now I've come to I love me some Madison Grace. It's just like really crazy that we'd only known each other for maybe 2 months, but we spent as much time as we possibly could together to get it as genuine as it truly was. She's like a sister to me now. Like, I'm so grateful to have done this.
That's what's really cool about doing projects, you know, and art and being a part of a team and stuff, because it's like you build these friendships that last, you know, a lifetime after that. It's different than a job, you know what I mean? It's different than, and I think there's something about when you're being creative with people, kind of like getting drunk, you know what I mean? Like when you go and get drunk with someone, it's like you're bonded after that. There's something about making art with people. It's
I
just
like
different.
Jay's comment here, and I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, I think that we agreed that the music store was going to be my home, and it's like where I can put headphones on and be in my own little world, and it's my space to be in my own little world, and there's no screaming and fights and my trying to hold my best friend back from beating someone's ass, like it's just like maybe sometimes a weirdo comes in, but I couldn't be more grateful to have developed the relationship I was able to with her and us to grow together. And there's a lot of moments in this film where it felt like every portion or department was so on the same page and understood the vision, and that was really beautiful. I haven't really experienced that too often creatively, but it felt like we all got it, and it felt really cool to be a part of.
So you said you were in music school or whatever as a kid. What instruments do you play?
So I can play piano and I can horribly fake guitar, which I have to for my character. But I studied music for over 20 years, and I was a classical opera major in college, and it paid for most of my tuition.
So vocals are your main.
Vocals
Opera,
my main
huh?
instrument. Yeah, I studied classical
Wow.
opera all through college, and I was on a scholarship program that paid for most of my college tuition. I ended up switching my major to public relations, but I also had a residual scholarship from the guidance program from Douglas Anderson because I was an aide for them. So I was really fortunate. And then all the rest of my school was between my dad and me, working part-time jobs doing liquor tastings to pay for my school. So I did it pretty much all on my own. But and then did YouTube, funny enough, during that time. I was a YouTuber for like 3 to 4 years.
Why'd you stop YouTube? What was your YouTube? What were you doing on YouTube?
I'd review makeup. I'd review like places to shop or boutiques that were local, but primarily it was like beauty and like
you just didn't find your niche, or?
No, I really enjoyed it. I think the one thing that made me want to step away was that I felt like I couldn't be successful in it unless I just sold things to people constantly. And it felt like that was the only way I could really make money, was these brand partnerships. If I just like shoved down people's throats, like, you want to buy this. And it's like, I had people that I knew didn't have the money, but just wanted to be sweet and supportive of me. And it kind of took away my love for it. And then, you know, over time, I continued to study music, and just like, it was really aggressive. I was at 28 credit hours a semester. I had 9 classes.
Jeez.
So, yeah, so I was really busy. And then I was also a teacher's assistant. So I was getting paid.
When did you graduate from college?
So, yeah, I was a music major from 2014 to 2018. And then from 2018 to 2021, when I graduated, I was in communications and public relations at University of North Florida. So I graduated then. But yeah, big transition to communications. I was like, this is easy as shit. You guys are such brats.
What is what is communications, like, job wise? What is that?
You can do like, it's pretty much one of the most broad majors you can do when you go to college. So
because is that the degree?
A lot of people go into like radio.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say.
yeah. And I actually used to do radio commercials for Cox Media Group here in Jacksonville, like to make extra money, or if I needed, like, I've pretty much done anything you could think of creatively to like hustle my way to.
I was gonna say, you remind me of myself so much, because like I have always been that way. I've always done so many different things.
I'm a freelancer. Like, it's actually really funny that Madison's pursuing makeup artistry now, because I did makeup for like 10 years before I was even studying music. I've lived multiple lives kind of in one, and I'm 29 years old. But I started doing makeup.
She's a baby.
I started doing makeup professionally when I was probably 12 or 13, and I was paid to do it for other people. And I got into FX makeup, and that's kind of what my YouTube sort of turned into for a little bit. But yeah, I've had all sorts of creative jobs. And but acting and singing and all that is probably my favorite, if I could choose. But I'm really grateful that like I was able to do this film and kind of come back into this creative community, because it literally felt like coming home. Like, when I switched my major from music to communications, it felt like a part of me like died. Like, I left a group that felt like a family. Like, the way people communicate in other parts of college that aren't anything artistic is not the family you find when you do something more creative. So
it's true.
Yeah. So when I came home to be a part of this film community in Jacksonville, I just felt so like immense gratitude, because I realized that actually the circle's kind of small. There's only so many people in our particular city that are really, you know, going after it. And even DJ, like, I'm so proud of him, because like, I know that it's not easy to like constantly, consistently put yourself out there and build the relationships that he has over time. But that's exactly what it takes. Like, annoying people to the ends of the earth about what you're trying to do.
That's what I tell DJ all the time. It's so much of all of this is about consistency. Like, you just got to keep showing up. Like, that is 90% of the battle at doing anything you want to do, is just showing up every week.
Be willing to be cringe.
Yeah.
You just got to always be willing to show up, because like,
yeah,
some days you'll have your good stuff. Other days you'll have nothing, and you still show up every week. You know, it's like my videos. That's why I'm able to make a living doing this now. It's not like every one of my videos is good, but it's every week there's a video.
Well, I have a lot of
good,
respect
bad,
for
or
it.
whatever, you know.
That was the hardest thing for me when I was doing YouTube is like, and especially because the editing was so time consuming because I ended up becoming so particular about the way I wanted things to look or come off, and I wanted it to be to a certain level. So like literally a year before I even started YouTube, I watched YouTube videos about how to use a DSLR camera, how to do the focus, how to set up a monitor, like literally for dummies, you know, shit, like how to operate this and like what is aperture. But acting ended up being my favorite job because I actually have gone through a lot of trial and tribulation with my personal life and my family. My father was sick with cancer and I took care of him before he passed. And then my mom is sick now and I still help take care of her. But acting is just one of those facets that you cannot compare because it gives you the opportunity to not be yourself. And that's actually the ultimate gift to me is being able to step out of who I actually am and tell a story and just be totally engrossed in like the ability to tell that story. And that feels like the opportunity of a lifetime to just be able to do that. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah, it's escapism.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
You're able to escape into a character, and then you're able to bring that character to audiences who will then also use you for escapism. And it's kind of this shared experience that really is one of the reasons why I love film so much, and I love going to theaters.
The real
Which you would never know that you love movies. If you didn't know better, you'd think DJ only hates movies.
That is not true. It is.
He's on something,
dude,
though. He's
Dangerous Animals is so much fun.
I didn't say it was bad. Okay, I actually recommended it. I recommended it.
Y'all were so annoying bitching about Dangerous Animals. I was watching it before I was about to log on, and I was like,
dude, it's such a good movie.
I was like, man, I wish I watched that because
I know. I was like, I asked DJ, I was like, because I would have loved to have heard your input and been able to like talk about the movie, but it's only playing in like a limited amount of theaters. So
yeah,
I'll watch it and I'll watch something else you guys are going to review. And if you potentially want to have me back, just let me know what you're reviewing and we'll see if I'm,
absolutely
allowed to be back. Cause it is a privilege. And like, it is a privilege that I went through all this process and still made it to this point. Like, I don't take it, but I'm not entitled in any way. Like, I know that I like busted my ass and DJ respected it and here we are. So I'm grateful to be a part of anything you guys potentially do. This is like the best. I would have my own podcast if I like wasn't kind of an idiot with technology, but
yes, we will definitely have you back.
So are you pursuing other like what are your goals now? What are you doing going forward? Like what are some things you're trying to do going forward?
So I would love to continue doing creative things, whether that's acting or actually, after I did the Hellgate, I was abruptly let go from my job. I was working in liquor sales and I was kind of in a hiatus. So, I was kind of just freelancing, trying to get by. And I was building window displays. I was telling DJ about it for different stores and businesses in Jacksonville to like be okay. And I basically just kept track of my hours and materials and was doing that for a bit. And then I've done floral work to make extra money. Just pretty much anything I like that I can potentially monetize, I'll try to do. But I had a really bad night bartending. I actually started bartending after the movie, which was so funny because Lillian was a bartender. And then I worked at a place called Lillian's. But but I had a really bad night bartending. Like it was literally awful. Like I was bartending like an entire back room, the bar top and the tables and serving all by myself. And it was just a recipe for disaster. Like I'm only one human being. And the kitchen pretty much left me high and dry and like someone's food was ready and they just never brought it out. But I like just didn't have the ability to do it. And then my management was kind of giving me the feeling that like they wanted me to take responsibility for the meal. They were kind of indicating that like they wanted me to pay for it. And I was like, are you effing kidding me? Are you serious? And I went out there and I started
You're allowed to swear.
And they came over and they were like, we would never do that. Oh, okay. I didn't.
Yeah.
I curse
No,
a
you're
lot,
welcome
but I
to.
didn't wanna. Okay.
You're
I
welcome to
curse a
swear.
lot, and I'm trying to be professional. But anyways, I had a really bad night that night, and I redid my resume all night that night, and I sent like 160 emails to cards I had collected over working various jobs in my life that I take pictures of. And one of them got back to me, and it's someone who, they're called Ashco Centers, and they're one of the largest privately owned commercial real estate developers in Jacksonville, Florida. And they're kind of badass, and they kind of just, I had met Tiffany through doing tastings for another job. She was walking around the liquor store that I was doing tastings in, kind of waiting. They're waiting for dinner reservation because it's a unique place in Riverside. It's called Riverside Liquors, where they have a restaurant in the back and they have a liquor store in the front. They're waiting for the reservation. She was kind of listening to me talk, and she came over and she was like, I think you would be good at what I do. And at that time, I ended up getting promoted to my current job in liquor sales. So I didn't really entertain her. I kept the card, but her card was metal. And I was like, this is a really cool card. It was like aluminum. And I found out they make her cards out of the leftover materials from job sites, which is super fucking
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah,
Environmental.
right. They're metal business cards. Yeah, they're literally silver metal
That's
business
dope.
cards. And I was just like sitting on this particular couch actually at my old place, and I moved now, which is why my tripod's broken, because it got broken moving. But I was sitting on that couch, and I was just like, what was that metal card? I need to remember what that metal card said. And interviewed with her. She was traveling internationally, and I emailed her, and she said, come in on Monday. It was a Friday, and we'll talk. And then I was working full time on Wednesday. So basically what I'm getting to is my goal is to potentially do well enough working in real estate now, and to have the privilege to do that I can, pursue these creative endeavors and not be like wanting to shit a brick when I get my groceries at the store, just to be able to be financially well enough to where I can do the Hellgate 2, or I can, sit down all night and do auditions. And like, the thing is, I do have to get to work at 7 a.m. every day, which is painful as hell because I have to like look nice. I'm not just rolling out of bed. And it's Monday to Saturday. So.
Wow.
But Saturdays
you only
are
got one day off right now?
Saturdays are flex, so I can work, whatever hours, and I love my team. If Mike or Jessica or Carol or Olivia or Tiffany are watching, I love the people I work with. But yeah, and I love my job. I love talking to people, and I love the opportunity to help a business potentially thrive and find the perfect space for them to start a restaurant or store or nail spa. And like, I just get to call all these people. I call 100 people a day and see who I can find. And so yeah, I'm basically, my goal is to potentially make enough money in this position that I genuinely enjoy, to where I'm able to even have the time or consideration
And explore. Yeah, like
We
explore.
gotta get them to sponsor the show now.
Yeah, I know. Like that's why I've put so much time into this channel and what I'm doing, is so that, eventually it gets to a point where I can explore other things and have that backbone of financial.
Yeah, it's
like,
just
I'm
not
okay,
having the cushion to like make it realistic. Is like, I want to throw up, and like, I've tried to be balls to the wall, do all my creative stuff, but it's really stressful.
Yeah.
So
It's funny,
All
you were saying people that you remind them of Lily Rose Depp or whatever. I was sitting here this whole time trying to think who you remind me of, because I'm like, there's someone. It's Catherine Newton. You actually remind me a lot of Catherine Newton from
DJ
Abigail.
Comment. I don't know who that is, but
I'm bringing her up.
I hope she's
she
cool.
was a Supernatural. Like, she's one of the it girls right now. Like, she's doing a shitload of horror movies. She was in Freaky, the movie Freaky. She's mostly in horror movies.
Some people have said Amber Heard, which I fucking hate.
No, I mean, I can see a tiny bit of that, but mostly just because of the hair.
Mostly because she's
that's
like
not
devil.
That's not a good picture. Pull the picture from Abigail.
Some people have said Jessica Alba, which I used to love, but now probably not. When I was younger and I was super, super tan sometimes. But yeah, a lot of people.
Hey, at least you don't get weird ass random ones. Like me, the only ones I ever get is I get white agent. What's his name from the Avengers? Samuel L. Jackson's character. I get.
Oh my.
Agent.
Nick Fury.
Yeah, Agent Nick Fury. I get the white Nick Fury. I've had a lot of black guys yell that out. They'll be like, "Dude, you're the white Nick Fury."
Who is Nick?
Bro,
Fury?
you're the white Nick Fury. Samuel L. Jackson's character from it with he has the eye patch from the Avengers movies.
Oh, okay.
Here, did you find a better picture of Catherine?
Every single one of them is
sweet. He's like, you're doing my girl dirty.
Pick her up
Get
from,
a better picture.
What was the one she was in recently? I'm like literally looking at a picture right now that looks like what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know why you're so inept at finding a decent picture.
Fuck you, man. I already got one. Here, look.
Why are you so inept?
That's not a good one.
All right, you fucking find one. I'm gonna read some comments because we have a lot of comments and a couple of questions. So I'm gonna
read less comments than we had before. What happened?
No, I had to scroll up. John says I nominate Summer for the first female crow. B Movie says great answer to a great question. John says, ooh, awesome. Stacy's a goth hottie. Always have a soft spot for goth ladies. John said, Summer, we're losing your video.
No, I was looking at text. My coworkers are texting me, and they're like,
John says,
it's actually a little bit uncanny how much in the right pictures you look like Catherine Newton. Like I'm good at that game.
Whatever, man. John says, DJ, I missed the trailer, but is Hellgate an 80s period film? Summer definitely looks 80s metal goth. No, it is not a period film, but part of my look that I like to get in my films is if 80s metal culture were popular today, what would that look like? And the way that I told Jay what I wanted my movie to look like is I told him, I said, watch House of the Devil by Ty West. And that's what I want. I want it to look like that. I want it to look like this modern 80s film look. And so that's the style. So if you watch a DJ Remark movie, that's the style that I am going for.
Tell me that does not look.
I feel like his hair color is a big factor in this, which I've changed.
Look at the face shape. I mean, like
an egg.
No, no.
Stephanie says
like an egg.
Tara Fright says DJ
this is
Lovecore.
literally considered one of the hottest girls in Hollywood right now. Like a huge compliment.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm just saying, like, you don't see it, DJ?
Sort of. Prop Dude says respect the hustle in the trenches with creativity. B-Movie Theater says,
I mean, look at that picture.
Swear away, motherfucker.
Gaston says question for Summer.
Look at this one right here to the right.
Kanan, you get it.
Hey, you told me to find it. So I did.
We get it. Gaston says question for Summer. How would you describe DJ as a director? Both
DJ hates when I sidetrack because he's like very one-track mind. He likes to read the comments with no interruptions. He likes to read the articles with no interruptions, but that's not how I work. I have an ADHD brain.
All right. Okay. Gaston asked Summer a question.
Okay, Gaston. He said creatively and technically. I think I have a lot of respect for DJ because he's been at this for a really long time. The first time I sat down with DJ, he told me his story and essentially like were you living in Ohio originally and you moved here?
Yeah.
Okay. So DJ was like doing, what was it? IT, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And basically fucking miserable. And you said you were so miserable at that job. You were literally thinking like, how hard would I have to hit my head against the monitor to like fucking kill myself because you hated that job so much. And I thought that was so funny. I have a really good memory in case you didn't know. But I just thought that was too funny. And like, you know, and what's also really cool was Ohio's kind of known to be like one of the most haunted places. I'm actually a huge dork and I watch like a bunch of those like lame Lame. I love gay people.
It is the most haunted
I
state
love gay
in the
people.
union.
I just want to make that clear. But I love paranormal shows that are kind of cringe and they're hilarious. And a lot of haunted stuff is in Ohio. So I think it's cool that you're from Ohio because that's where haunted shit happens. But yeah, you've just been at, like, you are like the epitome of somebody like American Dream, you know, like you're working a job you fucking loathe, and then you are like, I'm just gonna put all my eggs in this basket because this is what I truly love, and just like went for it full force. And Jacksonville, you know, historically used to be known for almost being the Hollywood of, you know, the United States at one point, because I think it's because of tax. It was cheaper to make film here or something like that. Or
no, it was the weather. It was known as the winter film
Oh.
capital of the world. All the filmmakers from New York would come down to Florida
Yeah.
to get out of the cold and keep making their movies.
But DJ's a Leo and I'm a Sagittarius. We're very compatible. He's very straightforward. He knows exactly what he wants and the way he wants it. And if he doesn't get it, he doesn't like it. And I actually like that and respect that. And technically, I think it was nice to have a director that.
When's your birthday?
Kanan.
Are you both Leo?
Just interrupt her.
No,
just interrupt her answer.
When is your birthday?
Mine?
Yeah, mine's the 10th. When's yours?
You're a Sagittarius too?
Yeah, that's why I was like, what?
December 15th, 10 days before Christmas.
Yeah, mine's 25 days. So yeah. My friend's birthday is December 20th. I'm like, man, I feel so bad for you. Like literally the same week as Christmas.
I don't know if that math is mathing, but
what math?
Or unless you're December 1st?
No, 10th. I'm
that
15 days before Christmas.
Yeah, 5th. There we go. Okay, I'm 10 days before Christmas, but anyways, doesn't fucking matter. But yeah, I think DJ is a really cool guy, and we've had a lot of good conversations creatively about like things that we find interesting, and having him as a director, I feel like I could come to him and ask a lot of questions, but I think it was actually kind of cool that he would look at me and be like, this is your liberty to take. Like, this is your decision with this character. And it's for you to decide how you think Sacey would react to this or go with this. It's your job to decide what her family background is and kind of put that in my, you know, decision making as an actor. And that was kind of overwhelming at first. I was kind of scared, like, can you just tell me exactly what Stacey's supposed to be like, because I don't really want to like get it wrong. But to give me that kind of respect, to be like, I hired you, I selected you because I like your interpretation of this character. And I was like, okay, damn straight. So I literally like wrote out in a composition book like exactly what my character's like, memories me and Lillian might have. Yeah, exactly. And put that together so that if there were instances in the scripts where, you know, Sacey might react to something differently because of experiences we've had in the past, or like, you know, here we go again in my facial expression, but not necessarily like having to say something about it. But DJ was great. DJ wasn't around as often as he probably should have as a director because he was very busy off set, but that's okay. We had to
get that cave built. That's why I had to leave set sometimes because we had to get the cave built. Every day that went by, we had to be in the cave, and it was done. The cave was done the day of we were supposed to be shooting. Like I had my art director, Uriel and Thais in there.
Uriel and Thais.
The day before.
Best
just
people.
Late at night, just putting finishing touches on that fucking cave because it had to get done. So yeah, there were some times that I gave Jay or Tom. I think I gave it to Jay actually most of the time. I said, look, man, here, you got to direct this scene.
These are the shots we need today.
Because I gotta go do this. But that's indie film. I mean, it's indie film, especially when you're building a cave.
Can you show Chuck's room? Because I really want to shout out Uriel and Thais and a few different things they did in this film and exactly how cool they were, because they kind of were like the heart of this movie in so many ways. Like, they gave our characters depth. They're the ones who put these items around in different places, you know what I mean? Like, when you're thinking about a character and their interests or what they like to do, like when I went into Sacey's room, like it was Sacey's room, like there was items in there that were specific to things that I might like or be interested in, or she might journal or do this or that, and it was like so much easier to get into character because of the world they created for us, and they really went above and beyond to do that, and it was awesome. So
yeah, a lot of people don't realize how important that kind of stuff is, because like,
the hair,
and that's
the
why
makeup,
like a filmmaker like Robert Eggers, he'll literally put things that you'll never even see on camera, but he wants his actors to interact with these things so that they're living in this world. You know what I mean? It's like,
exactly,
because so much of your performance can be taken from the items around you. You know, it's not just simply what you're seeing on camera, but your environment. So I like that you brought that up.
No, it was really incredible the lengths they went to. And then also a lot of the items our characters wore, well, specifically my character, my grandmother passed about a year before we made the film, and she was a huge jewelry collector. And I just thought, how special would it be if Sacey had certain items that Summer owned from her grandmother, and I can look back on this film as kind of like a cameo to some personal items and a reflection of her. And she had like this whole collection of kind of some goth style jewelry that was really cool, like snakes or dragons, or I don't know, chains, heavy chains. And the opportunity to like bring some of that into the character was like really neat.
I'm trying to find a picture of Chuck's room. Sorry, I gotta pull up.
It's okay.
I don't have it in any of my any of my stuff.
Well, what else did they do that was cool? Maybe Stacy's room or Lillian's room was sick. Lillian's room was really cool too.
Yeah, it's just a lot of that stuff is like the shots are pretty dark, and they're...
What about our podcast area with all the posters with Friday the 13th and oh, yeah, one of my favorite outfits was that Jason shirt, the Friday the 13th shirt. I love that Sacey outfit.
I can try to find that one. I gotta open. I gotta open DaVinci.
You're so like, unprepared, DJ.
I didn't know you were gonna ask me to see that. I didn't know you were gonna ask me to see that.
You didn't know this was gonna be a 3-hour podcast? Are you fucking kidding me?
I had an idea that it was gonna be 3 hours because of what we were doing. Because Kanan and I, we just kind of talk a lot sometimes. And especially when we get into it over a movie, like it can just like we could just go.
Yeah, we just go.
So, I'm here to talk just as much.
Yeah, no kidding. Let me see here. Summer definitely watched the Hellier series. Did you watch the Hellier series?
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
I don't know either. What is the Hellier series?
Is that like an old ass series?
Probably. I love nostalgic shit. No, DJ did give me some homework for the character. You had me watch, what was that werewolf teen movie?
Ginger Snaps.
Ginger Snaps. I watched Ginger Snaps like 10 times. I fucking love Ginger Snaps. I watched Daria to get my monotone voice.
Oh, the animated show?
The animated show. So that's why like Sacey talks the way she does. Yeah. So,
dude, I used to love that show.
It's funny as hell. It's actually really funny.
I highly doubt she watched this, dude, because I never even heard of this fucking show, man.
Yeah, I have no idea what Hellier
is. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
I have to see it. I'm not. I feel bad because I wish I was immediately like.
Yes, it had 2 seasons, and it looks like it.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I've seen this weird ass image.
The what?
I was saying DaVinci was taking forever to open. Everybody's talking about birthdays because you brought up Sagittarius.
Documentary.
So Stephanie says, "Oh my god, first birthdays ever." B Movie Theaters August 7th. B Movie, you got a birthday close to mine. Stephanie says 12 to 15 twinsy.
Oh, cool.
Al Capone had a Florida home and probably some bodies buried there. Heather says probably, most likely did. Jennifer says, "Hey, I live in Ohio. Hell yeah, some good Buckeyes."
Oh shit, okay. It's a series on Prime.
And I should watch it? Is it cool? Does it look cool?
I don't know. I'm just, yeah, it does. It's like a documentary.
DJ, why are you in the dark
Series.
right now?
Because
You
because I have bad lighting, and when I open another program, I have to take out my white screen on my monitor that does most of my lighting. So
Oh,
that's
it's a
why.
We're gonna get you a
paranormal.
ring light, sweetie. We're gonna
Yeah,
upgrade you.
yeah. So I can start
Yeah,
doing makeup
no,
tutorials.
DJ will never spend any money to actually
fuck
make
you.
his set look better. No, it's a.
Don't ask
He's
me.
been talking about getting a ring light for a year, and I'm like, they're like $9 on Amazon.
No,
Shut
the
up.
one I'm using right now, it
I
did
know
break
mine
apart.
was 250, so I'm not like.
I have to show you guys what I'm working with right now. Like this is, I cannot make this shit up.
It's too
Like,
bad I don't live out there or you lived out here because I got a bunch of ring lights.
do we see the duct tape that I
Yeah.
have? Yeah. I had to wrap another tripod around it.
Hey, I like it though. It's
a
imaginative.
whole-
Does the job.
Yeah, I only have one, and it was like $30. And
But no, so this Hellier series, it's a supernatural, like paranormal.
that sounds
It's a
awesome.
paranormal documentary type of series. That's why he brought, because you were saying earlier that you like
The
super
dorky
paranormal. Yeah. And so I think that's why he said.
Oh my gosh, I'm like I'm like looking for my phone. I'm like I'm using my phone for this podcast. What a dumbass.
I like ghost. I like Ghost
I've done
Hunters,
that.
but I'm not a fan of Ghost Adventures. Like Ghost Adventures, to me, they're super nerdy. I
No,
don't like those
I
guys.
love
But Ghost Hunters is
paranormal.
cool.
Okay,
There's these-
from 5 minutes ago, here's a picture of Chuck's apartment since you wanted to give Uriel and Thais their flowers.
Yeah, it was so cool. It was cute. It looked like a 20-year-old's like nerdy apartment.
Yeah, this is the one of the sets I went to.
And we still didn't meet. I was definitely there. I'm literally there right there.
No, Jay said you weren't there that I was there.
Braden's 20-year-old ass awkwardly holding the spear like he was small.
Well, it wasn't real beer. Okay, it was it wasn't real beer. Okay, but yeah, so they were responsible for decorating this whole thing, and yeah, so we had set designers, art directors,
Very cool.
the whole shebang. So that's what it was. Let me see here. Jay said Chuck's room is in the trailer. If you want to pause it, yeah, I guess I could have I got to re-chat.
Wow,
sorry.
it's almost like Jay should have been here.
Oh my God, we will have a cast and crew stream. Okay, Jesus.
It's
Jay was originally on this show before it was called
when it was
the
Hookah and
Death
Horror.
Rattle.
When it was Hookah and Horror, yeah.
Hookah and horror. Hookah's
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why that's why the name is Death Rattle Podcast.
I used to love hookah, but now if I smoke it too much, it makes me easily want to vomit.
Well,
you don't.
there's-
I just
there's a
realized
couple
you
of
don't
flavors.
really ever smoke that on
I
screens anymore.
because I broke it,
It makes
Oh,
me
okay.
sick.
and so I just
Because
haven't.
people
bought a
used
new
to
one.
give you shit every week.
I know. I'm gonna get a new one. I'm
I'm
'cause
like,
I do-
we're adults, dude.
I love
like,
hookah.
so
No,
people used to every stream, they'd be like, dude, can't believe you're gonna sit there smoking.
So
we were
what?
just like, really?
I'm surprised
Like,
YouTube didn't kick you off.
B
dude, there's
movie
people
theater
smoke
says.
You
Did-
do like
I've-
people
I've
smoke
tried.
weed, people smoke cigarettes, like everything on camera.
Well, I smoke weed, but
B movie theater says question. Did you say you used DaVinci Resolve? If so, how do you feel about it when it comes to making a movie? I love it. I've been using DaVinci. I was a Premiere guy for the longest time, and I finally went into DaVinci. It's the best color grading software ever, even though I'm not a very good colorist.
A lot of people are using
but
DaVinci now.
But the fact that it's an entire editing suite, you have a cut room, you have Fusion, which is a competitor for After Effects. It has its own audio studio. Like it's just and it's free. You know what I mean? I paid for the studio version, but it's a one-time fee. But it's just great. It's super powerful. They just had a huge update with a bunch of new like AI tools and stuff like that, which are they're just incredible. It's magic. It is black magic, is what
Like
it is.
for you,
if Mike
free
is on
add-ons?
here, our marketing guy, I'm curious if he's used DaVinci. He's been toying around with a few different softwares to make our marketing at my job. I'm
Yeah,
curious.
it is. Yeah. Jay says, I bring up the trailer because the shot of Chuck's house is one of my favorite shots. We pulled off one of my favorite shots we pulled off in the film through the hole in the wall. We have a nice slow push in through this like kitchen sort of window that goes
when I'm pacing.
Yeah, when you're pacing, yeah, we're pushing through this kitchen window that frames the shot, and then that window becomes the frame. It's super creative.
It was so hard to pace in Doc Martens because they're so heavy. I was like, don't click.
You guys got another Sagittarius in the chat.
So yeah, because you had like the platform. You had the platform kind of docs,
and
right?
those are actually mine. Yeah, I love me some Doc Martens. Like I've definitely dressed edgier before. Nothing like Sacey's level, but love some goth. I have so much respect for the goth community now, like never before. True maximalists, like 7 chokers. We had to memorize the order of my earrings because I have 3 piercings, and then I can also do cuffs. Like the amount
for continuity.
Yeah, and I ended up becoming our little scripty because I was like, I'm pretty sure this was here and this was there, and then people would be like, "Shit, I think Summer's right." But we would film.
We needed a scripty.
Yeah.
Here's another December. Sam the Architect, December 19th.
Okay, Sagittarius Queen, love it.
Lots of December birthdays in the chat. I missed
Only
that
the
one,
baddies.
so sorry.
That's the Sam that I met when I was there, right?
Yeah, that's the Sam you met.
Yeah, because I remember we talked about being Sagittarius at dinner.
The best.
Gaston says, question, does Kanan appear in the movie? The guy behind the clapboard in the image behind DJ kind of looks like him.
I do manipulate something.
Kanan is not
it's me.
He's not in the movie, but he is in the movie. So you'll get it when you see
the laws of physics. I apply some of my what is the whole Einstein's theory of relativity?
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
It's all right. It's okay.
That's okay. I'm just here.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's all right. Jay says, "What about my green cup?" Fuck you, Jay.
What did he say?
Jay had this green thermos that he kept trying to hide in each shot.
To see if
I don't know how many I missed, but I caught it a few times. And I'm just like, who keeps putting this green cup like in
was
the
he
shot?
trying to make it the Starbucks cup?
Yeah,
Game of Thrones.
It makes it in a few shots, but like he kept just putting it in random places in these shots, and I'm like, get this fucking green cup out of here.
Part 2. I know. I love that.
What's going on?
I'm reading the comments. You guys are out. Jason wore Doc Martens in Friday the 13th Part 4. I'm like, fuck yeah. New movie theater. Sagittarius are the best. Hell yeah, brother. Heather Sound. Heck yeah, we really do.
I don't know, man. Like, I think Sagittarius kind of are the best, but at the same time, I also think we get fucked over the most. Because I think I've always thought it would have been so much more fun to have like a summer birthday. Because like when you're a kid, you never get to have the cool birthdays. You know, there's never although you're in Florida, so I guess it's different.
I never had complaints about, because like, honestly, every time I had a birthday, it was combined. It was Christmas, birthday combined because I'm 10 days before Christmas.
Yep.
But I would
presents
never
all
complain.
wrapped in Christmas shit.
Well, no, I would never complain because then I just got like, it was basically like the perfect storm for me to get like some bomb ass gifts. Like my 16th year, I got a car. And like that was my only gift.
Yeah, see, I grew up in a poor ass family. So mine was like, here, we get you one present. That's your birthday and Christmas.
That was the one present. Don't get it fucking.
Well, yeah, but I didn't get a fucking car. I'm talking like a bag of socks. Like, here's the thing of socks.
Kanan, I had so
literally one of my birthdays when I was 7. I got a fucking thing of socks.
What do you want, a gold star? Kanan, I grew up with
it would
money,
be a shit star.
And then I got it shattered from me. Okay.
Yeah.
So I grew up with money, and then my parents, and then we had no money.
I know. It's like I always say this, like whenever anybody's always like, man, you had it rough or this, that, and the other. I'm like, man, everybody's got some shit. Because like there are so many people that grew up with money, but then it's like there's a rude awakening at some point, because at some point you're an adult and you gotta fucking figure shit out. Yep.
My dad got cancer for the second time, and we were screwed. So trust me, I'm humbled. I assure you, I'm humbled.
Yeah.
I'm not like one of those
I was
young
only
white women
I was only
that's
teasing you.
like,
I'm just
oh
teasing.
my god, my dad gave me a second generation Maserati. Rude. Like I'm not like one of those dumbass like people. I promise you. Like I'm humbled.
I almost died. That's how I got my first car.
I got
hit by a drunk driver. Me and my friend, we were hit by a drunk driver and put in the hospital. And the insurance money, I got my first car.
Are you sure you weren't the drunk driver?
No, I was like 17. I was a kid. No, some drunk ass driver.
The
like
first time I got drunk, I was like 12. Like I thought you grew up poor.
We were sober. We were driving along, and the drunk driver head-on collided into us through a red light.
I got a hand-me-down busted ass minivan.
Yeah.
That's what I got. I called it my shaggin' wagon.
Was it a minivan?
Mine was kind of cool.
Toyota Tercel in 1994 Toyota Tercel. Oh, I just got a new car this week.
It was a Ford Aerostar.
I ended up financing that car I was talking about last
I saw that you posted on Instagram. That's cool. Congratulations, man.
It's so fucking tiny. I love it, dude. Yeah.
Big ass
so
you
tiny.
Getting in that tiny ass car.
This big, dude. It is so little. It's so little. But it gets 45 miles to a gallon, dude. It's insane.
I don't want to brag about my first car, but my first car was a Scion TC.
Ooh. Was it new?
I don't know.
It was, what year was it? It wasn't brand new. I think it was like, so I got the car I was a sophomore in high school. So
that's a pretty cool looking car.
12.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the Scions, man. Back then, dude, Scions were the shit.
They were kind of fucking cool. So what was really cool
because they were kind of like the teenager car. Like they were like a fun kind of teen.
It was a maroon colored Scion TC, and I came home and it was in the driveway with a big bow on it, like classic iconic 16th birthday. Yeah, and I'll never forget the day I drove away in it for the first time. My dad literally stood in the middle of the road, like it was like, oh my god, like he was not ready. And it took me, my dad was a physical therapist for people who had like serious injuries. So he didn't let me drive the car alone until a year after I got it, because he like literally helped people who like were in a coma for life because they just drove away on their 16th birthday and, like wrecked their life. But it was, I think that I got the car in 2012 and I want to say it was like 2008 Scion TC. But what was really cool about it is that the people who owned it before, they worked for Toyota Racing Development. So it had like air intake valve. So it was like roomy. And I was like, I'm the shit. I'm like playing the Smiths as I roll into Douglas Anderson. Like,
nice, the Smiths. Can you pull up that picture, DJ?
Yeah. I'm waiting for
This was literally this past week. It was the first time I have ever got a car and got the bow on it.
Like I'll pull it up, but I'm waiting for Architect Sam to put her first car in the chat.
Show us, girl.
Because Architect Sam is a car girl.
84 hatchback Toyota Tercel, nice. Yeah, mine was a 94.
All right,
that was my first car.
Where is
66 coupe, dude? Prop dude did it right.
You really get to do Architect Mustang. Sam like that. She's so much more than just an architect, isn't she, DJ?
She's super into cars, and she like tells me a bunch of cool stuff about cars.
Yeah, so this was me this past week.
Okay, go off, King.
That's my little tiny car. It's so tiny. It was like this picture makes it look a lot bigger than it actually is.
Why do you look
but I love it, man.
You look so small next to this car.
Well, I'm standing in the back of it.
Okay.
Like if I were to stand in the front, like you would be able to see how small it is.
Oh, is it small?
Oh yeah, it's super tiny. But I love it. Like I purposely, I could have got a different car, a bigger car, or whatever. But
we just doxed you.
Only $350 a month, man. What?
I said we just doxed you by showing that license plate. So
no, I know. I shared it a bunch this week. A bunch of people yelling at me like, "Dude, you need to block your plate."
84 hatchback Toyota Tercel. Okay. 67.
I probably should have hid my plate, but whatever.
86 Chrysler LeBaron. Ooh.
I started a
I
conversation
had a LeBaron
about
one
our
time.
cars. I love that.
Yeah.
Dodge Spirit, not sure the year.
What do you drive now?
I drive a Toyota Corolla Cross, and it's 2022, motherfucker. Only 2
nice.
years old, and yeah, the only
Yeah, that's
reason
what my car I just got is 2022.
After the Prius, or excuse me, after the Scion TC took a shit, oh my god, literally driving it to work and the accelerator stopped. Brakes, gas didn't work. I'm like so glad I didn't die.
So you had it for that long?
I had it for a while. Well, no, I was working while I was in high school. I had 3 different jobs while I was in high school. I was a hard work. I've always been that way, working multiple jobs, multiple hustles going on. But yeah, I was driving and it just cut out when I turned the wheel and like could not stop it, could not whatever. Thank God I wasn't going too fast so I could just turn it off. But yeah, it died. After that, I drove Priuses pretty exclusively, which people take a shit on, but the best gas mileage in the land. I was laughing my way all the way to the gas station. So.
I almost got a Prius. I thought about getting a Prius, but like it would have been like 500 to 600. It would have been more like probably 600 a month. And I'm like, man, the little car I got only gets a little bit less gas mileage because like it's crazy how good a gas mileage it gets, and it's only 350 a month. I'm like,
I
dude,
pay
that's
$500 a month for my Corolla Cross. No, 600 a month.
We're just getting super personal right now.
Huh?
That's what my bills are. I said we're just getting super personal right now.
Yeah, you guys want to know what my rent is too?
Yeah, like
I am fortunate. I live with my sister, so my rent is very little. Otherwise, I would be homeless.
1981 Trans Am Turbo for a first car.
Fuck.
Ah, that sounds sick. That sounds cool. She had a car family, Sandra?
Dude.
Yeah.
I love that car. An 81 Trans Am. That is so sick. It's
with a turbo.
Dude, that car is so sick.
Yeah, the only reason I drive a Corolla Cross is because my ass cannot afford a RAV4. But my RAV4 was my dream car. But I just needed more room because I like to restore furniture, so I just needed something with enough trunk space.
Oh, that's fun. So you go like thrifting and shit?
Yeah. So there was a period of my life where I was pretty much working from home and I would just restore antiques and furniture and sell it on Facebook Marketplace. And that's pretty much how I pay my bills. So
that's cool.
Yeah. I love old shit.
Architect Sam raced a 2005 Subaru STI in high school.
Okay.
Raced as in like the track?
High school
like raced.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the track? Or are you talking about like, or did you just race it around?
I don't know. Maybe she'll say in the chat.
That's pretty cool. I never raced anyone.
Me neither. I had a fucking van. Who am I gonna race?
I know.
I had
a Toyota Tercel, dude. It was like
if I'm racing anybody, it's I'm racing my van to the gas station. That's what I'm. That's what it was.
The real race is will you make it in time and not
right.
Like
I didn't actually do any racing until I got my motorcycle, and that's when I was like, all right, I'm ready to go fast.
Come here, Sacey. This is Seance.
Aww.
Hi, that's a great name for a cat, especially.
It is. I was just thinking that.
Seance,
I had a cat that looked very much like that, but it was a boy, and his name was Vincent, after Vincent Price.
Nice.
Yeah, I really want a cat, but my sister is like deathly allergic to cats, and we're roommates, so I can't get
I used to be allergic, and you know what? The only secret is to just putting up with it until you tolerate them.
Yep, you build an immunity. That's why I was with my rats. Like for most of 2020, I like eyes swollen, like so allergic to them, but I just was too lonely to not have some type of pet.
A rat is such a Sagittarius ass pet. Like I feel like Sagittarius
so
always
sweet.
have like
I love them.
Like what the hell? Like I have a good friend and she has like multiple snakes, a cat, pet spiders, and I'm like, you're just the epitome of us weird asses. Like
I almost got a spider. I thought about getting a tarantula.
I have a spider.
Do you? What do you have?
He's not in my house. He's a spider. Wait. This is it makes sense.
You're fake.
I'm like lost. I'm like,
listen,
what?
He built
He's
a web.
I have a banana spider in my backyard. It's my
built a web.
Like, well, don't we all?
No,
I'm sure if
I
I look out in the bushes long enough, I'll find a spider too.
No, I have a spider that builds a web that blocks the entrance to my apartment.
That's not your pet, bro.
And yes, it is. Because I've taken this web down 3 times and he keeps coming back.
That's definitely not a pet. Because
you
would respect his web.
He is now. I gotta get to my.
You make him homeless. You're fucking literally making the poor thing homeless every day. That is definitely not a pet.
He keeps coming back.
Something.
He keeps coming back. So
it sounds more like you have an opponent, like a fucking evil villain spider.
That sounds like a
You're
government
at war.
housing squatter.
Yeah, squatter. There you go. You got a fucking squatter spider.
Poor Charlotte. She's like, dude, please bring me inside. Oh my God, run into my web and give me a home.
Who's Charlotte?
No, Charlotte from Charlotte's Web.
Charlotte's Web.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, whoa, DJ, did you get a girlfriend named Charlotte I didn't know about?
No. Architect Sam.
There was some chick over there the other day that you were all trying to hide, though.
It was. Architect Sam said drag race and autocross.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. That's sick. I had a motorcycle, like a dirt bike for a minute, like just for a little bit.
Name the spider. It's a done deal.
I did not name the spider yet.
That's his girlfriend, Charlotte the spider.
Spider's
from now on,
roommate.
dude. No. That's your spider's name, Charlotte.
No, that spider is not a roommate. It is not living rent free.
I have a spider.
That
you need to quit kicking it out of the web, then.
Yeah,
I know exactly.
I need to get in and out of my place. It's like so. I go
you
down.
Crawl out, dude.
And
crawl out.
It's a fake spider dad.
No shit.
You
got to crawl underneath the spider.
Okay, so are people who adopt kids supposed to leave them on the porch?
I know. You throw them out every day? Like every night you throw the kids outside.
Spider. He's an outside spider, okay? People have outside cats. He's an outside spider, okay? He's my spider.
He's an outside spider.
Where else is...
And actually, I think I did name him. I just forget exactly what the name was.
All right, girls. You guys are outside cats now. Get your ass on the porch.
My kids are outside kids. I throw them out every night.
You could be.
They keep coming back for food.
Stevie's like, bitch, I ain't moving at all.
So you have 3, you said?
I have 3 girls.
Adopted? Like, are they all rescues?
Yeah, I'm a foster failure. I brought in 3 black kittens that were sisters, and then I found out all the other cats in the litter died, and they were bonded because of it.
That sucks.
And I was supposed to pick a kitten at the end of the week. Best podcast ever! Okay, anyways, but yeah.
So you just kept all 3?
Yeah, so now I have the Sanderson sisters, and I lived in a funeral home when I got them.
What?
Yeah, I really wanted a black cat when I was living in a renovated funeral home in downtown Jacksonville. It's called the Lawton Pratt Funeral Home or Hillman Pratt Funeral Home. It's had 2 names.
Do they like rent out apartments in it, or how does that work?
So it's actually one of the oldest funeral homes in the United States, which is pretty cool. Like, and it was one of the
like, did you rent out the whole place, or was it like?
So here's the situation. So I was working somewhere and the owners of my job had bought this place to renovate into apartments and then like lease to people. But they ended up not working out in their marriage. So it was like eventually we had to get out of there. But the area where I lived was where the family who owned the funeral home lived. So there was like a little bit of pre-existing like living space. But if I walked down,
wasn't full on like
it wasn't actively a funeral home.
You weren't going to sleep in a coffin each night or anything.
It wasn't actively a funeral home when I was living in the property at Lawton Pratt, but I could walk downstairs and walk around in the embalming room and see exactly what it looked like. And there was an elevator.
Did it creep you out at all?
For the casket. And I have watched the pictures and videos, and I kept a lot of embalming bottles that are from like 1901 when the property.
Oh, that's cool.
And
so it didn't freak you out at all?
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was one of the most beautiful places. I was really heartbroken when they basically evicted me, and then they've now been in the process of renovating it into a boutique hotel that's supposed to be called the Raven, which really pissed me off because they're just trying to Edgar Allan Poe theme a fucking funeral home, and they're like erasing all of the history. This is like one of
cool
the
that it
first
was
places
there,
in the United States, like one of the wealthiest Black-owned businesses in North Florida of that time. Like they were like superstars of our city.
That's a
Like, you
shame.
know, one of the first
But
Black
at least
pilots
it's not going to get
was
torn down.
embalmed there.
Like, at least it's not
Yeah.
getting torn down. So I mean,
At least
because
it's
a
not
lot
getting
of places
torn
like
down.
that end up either torn down and turned into
But,
apartments or abandoned.
But on the left side of the building, there is a cathedral that was amazing, cool, beautiful. And there was an embalming room. There was all these other rooms that they used. And then in the building, they did insurance, emergency care, casket making. Like they did like the whole works in there, which is like kind of sus because it's like, how do you offer insurance? Like,
So the spider is mine. Because we did name him the Dark Spinner.
The Dark Spinner.
Yeah. So the spider is now mine. He's my outside spider.
All right.
Wait,
but then
Sam
you're not allowed
named
to forget his name from now on.
Yes.
Okay.
We both named it.
Oh.
So I don't know. It was probably her idea originally. I don't know.
So you said you believe in ghosts and you're into the paranormal and whatnot. Did you ever feel like any paranormal type of stuff while you were living there?
If I'm being honest, I never saw like any ghostly shapes or premonitions. But when I did walk around downstairs, it literally did feel like energy was like tugging after me. Like it felt like I was being like
moving around.
Like it felt like they knew that I was trying to be susceptible to them, and they were like, oh shit, like nobody's walked around here in a long time and like tried to recognize us almost. So like I felt like a heavy feeling of like that. And then also given the time period, there's no way of me officially knowing. I tried to look up records on the building several times and what might have happened there. But I'm sure there's a chance of sketchy things happening where someone wasn't like legally dead and then being embalmed, or I don't know, like
because like that's where the whole toe bell came from. That's where they would put bells on the big toe of a cadaver, and so that if you heard a bell, you knew, hey, like I said, that person's still alive.
If you look up the funeral home, it really is one of the oldest ones in the United States. And it was built right after the Great Fire in Jacksonville by a pretty famous architect who was also an amazing Black business owner. But he also built La Villa, which is across the street, and a lot of other really pronounced buildings throughout the city. But they have an area in the embalming room, which is where they would sit the bodies on ice. Because that's how new they were to the technology of the way they were going to embalm people. They'd literally have to put them on top of ice. And like this whole...
Well, they didn't have fridges back then.
They didn't have fridges. And then they like had these tables they would sit them on and just like drain them, you know? Mm-hmm. But I took a chair. I can go get the chair. I took a chair from the funeral home. I can show it to you guys. I'm not making
haunted chair.
You know, I always wonder about stuff like that because like if you think about it, like what are ghosts, and like why would you hang out if you are a dead spirit? Why would you hang out in, like, you know what I mean, and like the place where your body was taken?
You need
like
to get
it always makes me.
That's what a ghost is. A ghost is a restless spirit.
Yeah, but why would you hang out in?
If you could be anywhere at any time.
You're bound there.
Yeah, if you could be anywhere. And it makes me wonder, like, okay, are you attached to your body? You know, and if that's the case, well, then why didn't you leave from there and go to the cemetery or
to that like geographic place? Is it attached to where you spent a lot of your time, or is it attached to the place where you died?
Yep. And that's like the spirits there. Are they people that used to live there? Maybe it's those, you know, maybe that's the spirits that are there. Or is it, you know, the spirits from your body being like, I don't know. It always makes me wonder. And that's where the whole idea of that people come up with, it's more of what
I keep it on my porch like an old lady.
Nice.
Oh, that is cool.
That's dope.
Lawton
What's it
Pratt
called?
Funeral Home.
Lawton Pratt.
This
That
is
is so
stolen
cool.
property to the current owners of the.
It looks
funeral
like it's hand
You're just
painted.
outing yourself on our podcast. Yeah, thanks.
Like
thanks.
hand painted or hand stenciled or whatever.
Yeah. Tucked
Yeah,
in.
from what you said, they're probably painting over most stuff like that anyway. So
Yeah.
No, they broke all of the stained glass windows out of the cathedral.
what?
Oh my God, that's
And
awful.
my heart, like,
Dude,
sank to the
antique
floor.
stained glass is worth so much money.
I'm like, are you fucking dumb, bro? Like, I walked in to come home, and it was like one of the last few weeks I was there while they were renovating the cathedral, which had this beautiful fireplace and stained glass, and they broke
That makes
them
no
all
sense.
out.
That makes no sense, especially if they were
breaks my
turning
heart.
it into like, like that seems like something you would want to leave if you're turning it into some old, like,
When
creepy looking.
When I talk about this place, like, okay, DJ, did you get crickets for the spider? Then you can call the spider yours.
I know, no shit. All you're
Fuck
doing
off,
is
John Connor,
fucking up its
okay?
web. I know,
He is spider
but they
dad.
are right. At the very least, you should be feeding it. Like I don't really think of it. You're treating it like a pet at all. You're not feeding it. You're fucking
DJ
up its
just
home.
wants to be a cool pet dad, but it's like at
I
the end of
know.
the day, you just have like 2 cats, bro. Like you're
I
just
know.
sitting.
One cat. One cat.
Oh, I thought you. Oh, well.
No, just one.
Okay, just one. Just one.
Just my little boy.
But it is a very cute cat who is also very boisterous. I'm surprised he's not thrown a fit yet.
He has been. He's been on my lap.
bottles too. If nobody believes me, I have so much evidence. I have a
Of what?
postcard from the original funeral home. I'll grab it. 1 second.
Man, when I was down there, I wanted so bad. Like we were in what was that city I was in, DJ, where we went to dinner?
St. Augustine.
Yeah, I wanted so bad to go on that haunted tour there.
Yeah, they're awesome. The haunted
There's
pub
so
crawls.
many. Yeah, there's so many cool like haunted stuff down there.
Yeah,
and I was like,
super old.
Like I said, I didn't have a car. I didn't have my own car, so I was kind of like
Okay,
at the
I
mercy
keep this
of.
on my fridge, but I have several of these. This is the original postcard they gave to people.
So is it the red building?
And it's this building, and this is the
red,
drawing.
That big red building.
And my apartment was up like here.
Oh, wow.
It was the new part of the build out. And I had a balcony, and my cats would go out there and sit and sunbathe. It's not
so it was like the white building next to the big red one?
It's this one. I'm just explaining that my unit.
The big red one.
This,
right
none
there.
of these other buildings are here anymore. If you Google this building, it's still there right now. But none of the ones next to it exist anymore. And then look at these guys. Like, that's so creepy.
Yeah. Look at the old ass hearse.
I want a hearse.
I'm like, y'all really gave us color, but then made the black guys black and white? Like, how you gonna do them?
I love how every now and then you get this like super southern draw. It's super funny. Because I'm a Californian, so I'm not used to hearing.
I'm gonna kill myself.
No, I think it's great. You know what I mean, though, DJ? Because like you don't really have I don't think you do. I never noticed you having one, DJ.
I don't really know. I'm a Yank.
Yeah,
because you're from Ohio for 30 years. I don't have a.
I love it. It's not a bad thing. Trust me. Us Californians, we got nothing cool. So it's
like no.
Architect
we
Sam
don't have any kind of accents.
Architect Sam says that's illegal now. Apparently, breaking these stained glass windows is illegal.
I
don't understand why they would do that, because usually when it's stuff like that, you have it professionally removed because people will pay tons of money for that. They put it in museums, That's so sad. That's so sad.
No, my heart literally disintegrated. I think I tried to take some of the stained glass, but they cleaned it all up and literally threw it away.
That is so sad.
But I'm so nostalgic.
Raven Nevermore. Hang on.
How do I watch the trailer? Should we show it one more time before we leave at this 3-hour podcast?
Yeah, go ahead. We didn't put it on the Ghost Pirate channel. You might as well play it on the Ghost Pirate channel.
Okay. Well,
I don't know. You don't want to because you want people to go watch it over.
Right. So after this stream, you can see it on the Blood Scribe Creations channel. I'll link the Blood Scribe Creations
channel.
I'll
share it on Instagram and Facebook and
yeah. So that's what it's
before we forget, Summer, what are your socials?
Oh, yes. It is my name. Literally just at that. And then I have a new Instagram called Sites by Summer, which is where I'll talk about commercial real estate, but kind of lame. But literally just put an @ sign, right? Like, where you get there. There, right there.
What are you pointing at?
My like name that I have on my like thing. Like if you just put an @
why are
sign
you
and
pointing
like,
over there? It's over there.
I don't know, because I'm dyslexic. I don't know.
See, it's on this side.
But I actually really have to go to the little girl's room because this has been like 3 hours. So.
Yeah, that's okay. Go take your break. We are gonna be wrapping up. So go take your break, and then when you get back, we'll finish our wrap up. So
we're taking a break. Okay, I can come back into the room. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and say goodbye. We'll give it another few minutes.
Okay. BRB.
All right.
Okay, yeah, I'm linking this.
I was gonna say put the link right now in the chat so that way Ghost Pirate people can go.
Okay, so the link to the Bloodscribe channel will be in the chat. After this stream is over, that the trailer will be live, so you can watch it there.
We need to pin it in the description.
Yeah, I will. I'll change that. Let's go through some comments. We've been keeping up on it, but let's go through some of them. Prompt Dude says, speaking of spiders as pets, this dude Steve Thornton of Tarantula-tastic Enclosures has the sickest collection of horror-themed tarantula enclosures. Seriously mind-blowing. That's awesome. If I had a tarantula, I would totally have like a horror-themed enclosure, like a house or something like that.
Yeah, like I almost got one, but I went with rats instead. But I've thought about getting one because like, from what I know, like there's certain kinds of tarantulas that are really, really friendly. And I've seen people, they're like little dogs. They'll come running up, like, and you feed them and everything. And they'll like crawl on your shoulder and like, just be like rats are. And I always think that's so weird. You never would think of a spider, you know what I mean? Or an arachnid, I guess I should say. Cause they're not right. They're not tarantulas. They're arachnids, but they're not spiders. Right.
I think they are spiders. Isn't a spider?
But I think there's a difference. Like they're all arachnids, but some are not spiders.
I don't know. David says just saw 28 Years Later commercial only in theaters.
What
does commercial only mean? Cole says, is this film out yet? No. Oh, Cole. Hey, what's up, man? No, it's not out yet.
Does he mean he just saw 28 Years Later or just saw a new trailer for it?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I have a bunch of friends that went and saw it last night at a advanced screenings. I didn't feel like driving to San Francisco, so I'm like, I could have drove to San Francisco and seen it, or I could just wait and see it tomorrow. I'm like, I'll just see it tomorrow.
That's okay, Raven. If you subscribe to the Death Rattle and to Bloodscribe, you'll see it because it'll be on the Bloodscribe channel. So, but it's okay.
But the Death Rattle podcast is where every week we do this podcast. We're gonna do it less and less on the Ghost Pirate, and we haven't figured out a good game plan for that yet exactly. But
yeah, we're gonna be phasing. We're gonna be phasing.
Yeah,
it's gonna be on the Death Rattle.
We're gonna focus more on Twitch and on the Death Rattle YouTube channel. So, like, if you want to be involved in this, especially on the Twitch side, we're gonna start making more of an effort and doing some things that are more Twitch oriented, if that makes sense. So definitely, if follow us on Twitch as well.
He said, saw the commercial on TV. Gotcha. Okay. Sorry. That was a little confusing, but gotcha.
Yeah. It comes out tomorrow and I'm hearing nothing but good things about it. So I'm super excited to see it.
Al says, boy, I did a lot of subscribing today. Thank you, Al. We know it takes a lot out of you.
Whatever, Al, you've been watching the channel like regularly for a while. Like you're just now subscribing. Like we've been mentioning it every week now. Like go and subscribe to the Death Rattle podcast.
Raven says, been checking out movies on the Ghost Pirate channel. Sorry, man, I don't know your name, but digging the Tubi list. So yeah, Raven is
on the screen. Oh, it's not on the screen. Why is my name not? Oh, there it is.
Because every time I bring up a comment, it goes away. But
yeah, I didn't realize it did that. But yeah, that's my name right there, Kanan. And that's his name over there, DJ.
Oh, B Movie says, if you have any questions about Twitch, hit me up. I've been streaming there over 5 years. Yeah, B Movie, we'll hit you up because we are going to do some more Twitch stuff. So
yeah, I mean, it'll still, you'll be able to watch it on the YouTube channel.
Yep.
as well, but there are going to be things that are more tailored to a Twitch type of stream than they are a YouTube type of thing, because we are constantly getting copyright hit whenever we watch trailers or just about anything. But Twitch is a lot more lenient for a lot of that stuff. So,
Oh, sorry. Okay, so HP Brat, give me a second. I'm linking it again. This is the so Bloodscribe is the movie YouTube channel, and then if you care about my film reviews, it's Horror Sucks.
Did she hang up, or did you just?
No, she's coming back. She's coming back. She had to.
No, I know that, but like she's not. Her boxes.
Yeah, I know. She's coming back. She just has to click the link, and then she'll be back.
Oh, okay, cool.
Let me see here. Okay. What else? Subscribe to Bloodscribe. Thank you for the sub. Yeah, so that's going to be going live here in a little bit. What are we looking forward to? We're looking forward to 28 years later. That's what we're going to be. Yep. We're going to be talking about that next week. We're all going to be.
What is after? What's after that?
After 28 years, I don't know.
What's the next big? Because I know Together is not too far off, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Let's see. I'm pulling up the release calendar. So 28 years later, tomorrow or this weekend, Megan. So Megan is the next one after that. But I don't.
Yeah, I'm not watching.
It's not even really a horror movie.
Yeah.
Ooh. But then July 2nd is Jurassic World Rebirth, which I'm actually starting to get excited about. I know a couple people that were able to see that and really, really liked it. Like everything I'm hearing is it's a lot like the first Jurassic Park. There's a lot of things that feel like in a lot of ways it's just doing the same thing again, but at least it has a lot more of that darker edge that the original Jurassic Park has. So I'm okay with the soft reboot if that means going forward they're going to have more of a darker edge and not be all like the last couple bullshit fucking movies, because I hated those.
B Movie says, I hear Mithrigan 2.0 is going to be more of an action movie. Yeah, that's exactly what.
Not more of. It
will be.
I don't think there's anything horror like at all about it. Hey, how did your peeing go?
Before we get out of here,
was it a successful pee?
I think it was like for 3 minutes. Like, wow.
I used to have this one ex that always called it breaking the seal. Like whenever she had to pee really bad and it had been a while, she's like, she had to break
when you're
seal.
drinking, that's absolutely breaking the seal. Yeah.
Also, that was the funniest way of putting it, because I know you're talking about like where it's you just got to sit there or stand there or whatever for guys to stand there, girls sit there, but you like just got to chill for a minute. You're just like, any day now. All right, bladder.
Oh, I didn't have to wait for that one. My body was ready.
It's like,
yes, it was. Like
I was waiting.
Floodgates, Niagara Falls.
Dude, I was the funniest thing when you're like in the bathroom and you'll hear a guy next to you, like when you're drinking at bars, this is very common, but you'll hear a guy peeing next to you, and it's like something from like a Monty Python movie or whatever, where it's like every time you think they're done peeing, they'll stop for a second, and then it's just again for a while. It's like going on. Like, what the fuck?
I'm over.
See, I told you. He likes this linear way of doing.
I don't mind if we get off the rails a little bit, but like, does it have to be about pee?
Show your shirt.
I'm gonna.
Okay, DJ,
he's a prude.
Bring us back to the rails.
He is a prude.
I'm not a prude.
He is an 80-year-old in a 30-year-old's body.
That's partially true, but I'm not a prude. Like, I just want to talk about fucking pee.
It's okay. Let's get you back to bed, Grandpa.
Partially true.
So I've had questions about my shirt, and I love my shirt, so I want to show it off. And I just gotta. So just give me a second.
God damn it! Who the fuck's calling?
What?
The
Stop calling Kaden. All right.
You sound like the grumpy grandpa now.
I've never had this before where it's coming. My phone calls don't come through to the fucking computer. Like I don't know why it's doing that all of a sudden.
I think we should start a podcast.
Dude. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go.
Wow. Are there
Okay, well,
titties?
you go see. Yeah.
Is that titties?
They're
I
like
love
horror
that.
pasties. See, they're like pasties and shit.
Well,
That's
I
too close.
joined the situation, but you guys gotta watch the Hellgate for that.
Okay, I don't think anybody followed what you were just trying to imply. I did.
I would join the titty show.
I
but
joined
you gotta
the.
watch the Hellgate for that.
Oh, okay.
The titty.
It's a new shirt that I got. It's one of my favorites. I love it.
Yeah, I think that's
Bloody
super
titties.
fun. I like that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Anyway, so that's it. So Summer, thank you so much for
Thank you.
for
I'm
coming
hungry.
on.
I'm tired. I had
Yes.
so much fun, but wow, we really put in some hours here.
We did.
Okay, well, here, I'll make you a deal. You go find a movie over the next few weeks that you want to talk about on the show.
I already have like at least 5.
Well, you pick a movie and let us know, and we'll figure it out. We'll have you on again and talk about a movie.
Does it need to be like a recent movie, like trending movie? Is that preferred?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, it needs to be one that we just need to either have already seen it or have enough time for us to watch it. But
Okay. One of my favorite horror movies, and you guys are probably gonna make fun if you already know what this is, but it's called The Descent.
Who would make fun of that? Like, that's literally
I
considered
love
one of the
that.
greatest horror movies, like, in the last 20 years, 30 years, whatever.
Yeah, The Descent's good.
Yeah,
I would love
Descent's incredible.
to do
The second
a podcast.
The second one, not so much.
Second one is just like, and the third one is just trash.
Did they do a
Absolute
third?
trash. Yeah, they did, and it's awful. And then I would love to talk about Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah.
But that's one where I don't think they made a third Descent. Did they?
It's like one of those trash ones. It's like
they didn't.
Straws.
They haven't made a third one.
Just the second one that's trash.
Yeah, there's two. The second one sucks because it literally is like the first movie all over again. Really, like
I guess I'm getting confused, but yeah, trash.
Jeepers Creepers is where it got like. The second one was not the worst in the world, but then
I
it just
love the second
so bad.
And we could talk
but
for another 3 hours if we were going to talk about that.
Awful, and then Reborn was one of the worst movies ever made. It is to this day still one of the only movies that I will say I actually hate.
I started it and I turned it off. I started
so
it and I turned it off so fast. I was like, this is actually like insulting.
And those motherfuckers, because they own the rights, they're making another one.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be even worse somehow. And then I would love to talk about Chucky. I'm a huge Chucky fan, even though it's kind of dorky.
Did you watch the series?
I loved the series.
They're talking. I guess they're not going to bring, because they're not making another. They weren't renewed for a new season, but the word is that they're gonna make another movie. So like the same team is working on hopefully another movie soon.
The same cast from the TV series, or is it gonna be?
Yeah, it'll be the same people because those same people were in the other movies. Like everybody, the only person that wasn't from the movies like before the series was what's his name from Final Destination. The guy that kept having a different role each season.
Oh, like yeah.
Why am I spacing on his name?
I don't know. I'm spacing too.
Anyway, but yeah. So I mean, everybody from the series will be back because a lot of those people, like they've literally been involved in the movies. So they're just kind of going back to what they had been prior to the season.
I'm a huge fan of Chucky, and I'm a huge fan of the original voice of Chucky. And every time they've tried to not have
Brad Dourif.
Brad Dourif,
and then his daughter. Oh my god, his daughter is super badass too, and she looks like him, and she's got the same mannerisms. And when they brought her into the series, I was pumped because I'm a huge
she was
fan
she was in Seed, right?
Yeah.
I think she was only in one.
So yeah, we don't want to give it all away at once, but those 3 off the bat, I would love to talk about The Descent, Jeepers Creepers, Chucky movies and TV show. And what else do I have categories of subgenres of favorite horror movies in my notes for ex-boyfriends who didn't appreciate it.
You should fucking, dude, why don't you start your own channel and do what I do?
Because
because that's literally like, that's what I do every week, is those kind of lists that you're talking about. I
don't feel like I'm that interesting, or like
neither was I when I started.
Kanan's still not interesting, but he's popular.
I feel like
no, watch some of my first videos. Like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I
feel like DJ is really intellectual with his reviews, and like he'll go on Facebook and post like his whole fucking review.
But there's very different ways of doing this. There's like, I'm not. I am very much like, I'm an artist. I paint, I sculpt. Like, that's the world I come from.
I just feel like as an actor, people are like, who do you think you are to have an opinion about this? I'm here today because of the Hellgate, but I think otherwise, if people are like, what?
Don't think of it that way.
Yeah, don't think of it that way.
Think of it as I'm a pretty girl who is creative and artistic and wants to talk about horror movies. Like, that's how you think. I don't think of myself as an artist talking about movies. I just think of myself as a one-eyed weird old man fucking making shit, you know, like I just am me.
Wow.
Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm just my own version of someone talking about movies, you know.
I'll talk to ChatGPT and it'll give me some ideas for my horror podcast that I'm doing just from iPhone, because my ass does not know how to do live. I have a microphone though. And I used to have a DSLR, but I sold it at my yard sale. So I'm kind of
I'm almost 5 years in of this and just about to hit 70,000 subscribers. And I still shoot all my stuff with just my camera or just my phone.
Just your iPhone?
Yep. I don't have a fucking camera. I have one. I don't use it. It just sits right there. Like, the microphone is important. You need to have a good audio.
So the audio was kind of shitty during mine.
If you're seriously interested in doing this, hit me up, and I'll
genuinely help you interested in doing this. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we gotta get out of here.
Because like the biggest thing I took away from what you were talking about is that when you tried to do YouTube and stuff before, is you didn't have a good, and DJ knows what I'm talking about. You didn't have a good direction. Like, you need to pick a direction and then just go all in that direction, no matter what.
I tried to be a niche beauty, like fashion realm.
Yeah, but what you just said is like, what you just said is like 3 or 4 different. You know what I mean?
Well, if you watch like the YouTubers of that time, I was really into it during like 2016, and there was plenty of YouTubers like Jaclyn Hill, Jeffree Star. There are people who were totally within that, and they would talk about all things relating to beauty, whether it was hair, makeup, fashion. But
but what a lot of people don't understand is people are you're looking at someone that's already known. Like, when you start out, you want to pick a very narrow, and this is for anybody out there trying to do this. Yeah, but that's the point, because you want to just get started. You think of it as like a plant. A plant doesn't start as a fully grown plant. A plant starts out as a seed. So you start out with one little thing. Like me, my list, that's it. That's all I focus on is my weekly recommendation list. And then as I've gotten more and more, now I do this podcast with DJ. I review individual movies sometimes. Like I branch out. I'm branching out more and more because there's an audience. But when you're first starting out, you want to really find that audience. And so like Jeffree Star, yeah, he could do all that because he's Jeffree Star. He already has that audience.
It was a combination.
When he started out, it was just makeup.
Well,
Jeffree Star started out just makeup.
I needed it to be lucrative, and it felt like it could only be lucrative if I was like very adamantly selling people things.
Yeah. Or
was able to be monetized. I lost monetization on my channel after I used a certain song from SoundCloud, and it's my most viral video. It's like a purge makeup tutorial that has like 70,000 views or something. But anyhow, yeah, I'm definitely down to do it. Definitely down to do it. Definitely have to be up and at a desk in 7 hours from this moment. So
yeah, all right.
Gonna.
So we're getting out of here.
I know. I need to eat.
So thank you. Thanks, Summer. Again, thanks everybody
Yeah,
for joining
super
us.
fun
and
having you.
This has been our longest stream to date. This has to be 7 to almost 10, 10, 12. This has to be our longest stream to date. But awesome. It was great having you. Chat, thanks for
Thank
sticking
you.
around. Go to
Thank
the
you.
Bloodscribe channel. The trailer is live. Share it around. Get ready for this movie. And we'll be back next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. on the West Coast, and whatever time it is, where you ever are in the world. I'm DJ. That's Kane, and that's Summer. This is the Death Rattle Podcast. Good night.
Good night.